UkkiKai here. As you know, I've been writing these letters to myself, to younger me. And here is my letter number 17. Maybe we need less than we think. Dear younger Kai, there is something I wish I had understood much earlier in life. Not because it would have made me more successful, not because it would have made my life easier, but because it would have allowed me to breathe a little more freely. When you are young, it is easy to believe that life is about adding things. More knowledge, more experience, more achievements, more positions, more recognition, more plans, more certainty. For many years I believed that too. I thought that if I just kept moving forward, kept building, kept collecting experiences and accomplishments, eventually I would arrive somewhere, a place where everything finally made sense, a place where I would feel complete. But life has a curious way of teaching us things we were not looking for. The older I have become, the more I have started to wonder whether the opposite might sometimes be true. What if life is not only about adding? What if part of wisdom is learning what can we be left behind? What if freedom is not found in having more, but in needing less? I don't mean poverty. I don't mean giving things up for the sake of giving things up. I mean something much more simpler. I mean learning to recognize what truly matters and what doesn't. For a long time I measured progress by movement. If I was busy, I felt productive. If I had many projects, I felt important. If I was constantly moving toward the next goal, I felt alive. But eventually, I began to notice something. The moments I remembered most were rarely the busy ones. They were often the quiet ones. A conversation, a photograph, a walk, a morning by the lake. A moment when there is nowhere else I needed to be. Those moments never looked very impressive from outside. Yet somehow they became moments that stayed with me. Maybe because they were real. Maybe because they weren't trying to become something else. Younger Kai, I know how much you enjoy new projects. I know how curious you are, and I hope you never lose that curiosity. It has taken you to wonderful places. It has introduced you to remarkable people. It has helped you create things that once seemed impossible. But there is a difference between curiosity and restlessness. One opens doors, the other keeps us running. It took me many years to learn the difference. There was time when I thought success meant achieving more than the other people. Today, I'm not sure. These days, success looks different. Success is having enough time to notice the changing light on the water. Success is being able to spend an afternoon with the camera and no destination. Success is walking up without feeling that. Success is waking up without feeling that the day is already chasing you. Success is having room to think, room to wonder, room to be. I know this sounds simple, but simple things are often the hardest things to understand. I spent years to make life bigger, only to discover that happiness was hiding in small places all along. A quiet home, a meaningful conversation, a trusted friend, a camera in your hand, the sound of wind moving across the lake. These things don't ask for much, but they give a great deal in return. One of the strangest lessons of growing older is realizing how little we actually need. Not how little we can survive with, how little we need to feel alive. The world will always encourage you to want more. There will always be another goal, another purchase, another achievement, another promise that fulfillment is waiting somewhere just ahead. But fulfillment has a habit of living much closer than we think. Often it's already here, quiet waiting for us to notice it. Often it is already here, quietly waiting for us to notice it. So if I could leave you with the one thought, it would be this. Do not spend your entire life adding. Every now and then, stop and ask what can be removed, what can be simplified, what can be released. You may discover that life becomes lighter. And sometimes lighter is exactly what we need. Take care of ourselves. And don't be in too much of a hurry. There is more time, we think. There is more time than you think. Writing you from the shores of Lake Saimaa, UkkiKai.